Hi, friend. Can I share something with you real quick? Producing this podcast, the time, the editing, the stories, the encouragement, it's a labor of love, but it's still labor. And if this show has ever blessed you, encouraged you, or made you feel a little less alone in your journey, I would love to invite you to support the podcast. I just launched a Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/RemiRoy. It's a simple way you can give a small one-time gift or a monthly support to say thank you and help me keep the show going. I already have two amazing supporters. Anna Murby, thank you so much for your kindness. And to my anonymous supporter, thank you. You know who you are. Your support means more than you know. Truly, it does. So if you've been listening and this show has made a difference in your life, would you consider supporting the show? You can head to buymeacoffee.com/RemiRoy or just click the link in the show notes that says support this show. And if you can't give financially right now, that's okay. A rating, a review, or simply sharing the show with a friend goes such a long way. Thank you so much for being here. I see you. I appreciate you. All right, back to the episode. Hi, friend. It is officially December 2025. Well, it's been December for a while, but I don't know about you, but for me, this year has felt excruciatingly long and at the same time so fast. Like it's flew by, but it's also dragged on because of everything I had to do. But we're here and it's time to move on. In this episode, I want to talk us through a bit of a year-end recap. I want to give you space to reflect, to take it all in, and to intentionally prepare for what's next. Because no matter what your experience has been, good, bad, joyful, confusing, or somewhere in between, we all have to move forward. Nobody gets to do 2025 all over again. You don't get a redo. Nobody gets an extra month. This is it. So let's reflect, not with overwhelm, not with anxiety, but with clarity and peace. I'm calling this episode How to Move On, an end-of-year reflection for the introspective introvert. Let's get into it. You're listening to the Driven Introvert Podcast, the place to be for dreamers, doers, and entrepreneurs who are ready to birth the dreams, callings, and ideas the Lord has placed in their hearts. Do you sense that God is calling you to step out and do something new, but you're held back by fear and uncertainty? Do you struggle with believing that you can do great things because of your quiet, reserved, and introverted nature? Welcome here. I'm Remi Roy, your host and founder of shepacked.com. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, a creative, and a committed trier. I'm here to help you get unstuck and make progress on your God idea. Let's go. So I am officially kind of still in the middle of the decision-making series, but I want to pause and wrap up the year together. I want to help you start 2026 in a good place, not chaotic or distracted, but grounded and just able to take on what's next. And because I've been in decision-making mode so deeply this year, I've also had to reflect on my own decisions, things I've had to step back from and others I had to step into. For example, I had to step back from producing the podcast weekly. I really wanted to show up every week, but I had to prioritize my mental health and bandwidth. I also stepped back from being very active on social media and promoting the podcast again because I needed time. But I stepped into some really big things this year, building a startup, which if you've been listening to the podcast, you already know about, hiring people and managing a team, learning how to stay calm when things aren't working exactly the way that you planned. It's a lot. It's been a year of both stepping back and stepping up, and that's why reflection is so important. Let's talk about the reality of moving on, right? Sometimes we move on by choice. Other times we're pushed forward by time, whether we're ready or not. And that's what's happening right now. Whether you liked this year or not, 2025 is ending. You don't get to stay behind. January 1st is coming, and with it, a new year. So how do we move forward well? Whether your year was filled with challenges, illness, loss, and disappointment, or maybe it was filled with so many wins and joy, you still have to move forward. It's funny, even success can keep us stuck if we don't move on from it. And I've heard this said, one of the biggest threats to future success is sitting too long in past success. The world is shifting, jobs change, seasons change, and life moves on. So I have 3 reflection questions to help you move forward well. All right, number 1, what was the biggest lesson you learned in 2025? And the thing with this question is you have to be intentional to actually evaluate your life, evaluate the things that happen, your responses, your reactions, to find the answer to this. What was the biggest lesson you learned in 2025? For me, it's something I've always known, but this year made it real. It's going to get harder, but you're going to get stronger. That's what I learned. It will get harder, but you're going to get stronger. And that's the trade-off. That is the trade-off. The success, the growth, the breakthroughs you really want, they live on the other side of hard. This year stretched me. I started with no real knowledge of how to build the kind of company I'm building now. I leaned heavily on my team and others around me, my husband. I stepped in without knowing all the answers, and I've grown stronger in the process. So what's your biggest lesson this year? Don't say, I can't think of one, because you can. Take some time, write things down, reflect on what you built, what you lost, what you learned, or maybe the things that you didn't do, even in the small moments. And that will help you kind of come to the answer to this question. All right, number 2. When you're thinking about the biggest lesson you learned, how will you apply that lesson in 2026? Like I said, you can't redo 2025. Whatever happened, good or bad, it's done. But you can take the lesson and move forward with it. For me, that means mentally preparing myself to be stretched even more and trusting that I'll keep getting stronger. That's the benefit that I see in this process, even in the chaos, even when I feel unprepared, even when I feel like, oh my God, I just want to retreat. Like today, I don't want to do anything, but I have to. I've always longed to be a peaceful, grounded person. And even though I've often felt the opposite inside of me, right? I'm not always calm inside, but over the past few months, I've found peace in the most chaotic season of my life. There was a season where for a couple of months, I was just overwhelmed and panicky on the inside and heavy. And I felt sorry for myself, but that changed. I found peace even in the chaos. It's still hard, don't get me wrong, but I'm stronger than I used to be. So how will you carry forward your biggest lesson in 2026? I would love to know. And number 3, what are you grateful for? And how will you show gratitude? Maybe this year was tough. Maybe it was the year of your dreams. Either way, you're here. You're alive. That's something to thank God for. I will never forget the early days trying to make just $50 a week. I'm telling you, 2015, worst year of my life. I prayed to God, if I can just make $50 a week, I will be good. I was writing blogs. I was self-publishing books. I was designing t-shirts, just trying everything. But today I'm working in answered prayers. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, and I'm so, so grateful. Gratitude to God first and foremost, then gratitude to the people who showed up for me, who prayed, supported, encouraged, and simply stood by me in quiet strength. So I ask you, who are you grateful for? And have you told them? Have you told them you're grateful for them? Have you told them you're thankful for how they stood up for you, how they surround you? Because none of us can survive without the people around us. So those are the 3 questions I want you to reflect on. Number 1, what was the biggest lesson you learned in 2025? Number 2, how will you apply that lesson in 2026? And number 3, what are you grateful for? And how will you show gratitude? All right, here's a practical thought for you if you are an introvert. If maybe you're a shy introvert. Maybe you are unsure, uncertain, overwhelmed, afraid, not confident, just worrying about tomorrow. This season is the best time to lean into what makes you unique. Your power of observation, your calm, your ability to focus. Use it. Reflect. Find what didn't work. Discover where you want to go next and work confidently toward that. Yes, there's a lot of hustling and bustling around the holidays. Don't dismiss it all. Family is for joy, fun, laughter, and giving us a firm ground under our feet. All of that is important. But also find time to lean into calm and reflect. You'll be the better for it. All right, final thoughts. You have to move on. 2025 is wrapping up, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the confusing, all of it. We thank God for it all, but we have to move forward. So again, reflect on these questions. Your biggest lesson in 2025, how will you apply it in 2026, and what are you grateful for, and who will you thank? I am grateful for you. Thank you so much for listening, for sharing the show, for your emails, for your reviews. I see you. I appreciate you. And if you want to support the show into the new year, I have set up a Buy Me a Coffee link. It's in the show notes. No pressure at all. Every share, review, and email matters too. I would love your support. Just click the link in the show notes to get to that. And I would love to hear from you as always. Send me an email and tell me, the answer to these reflection questions for you. Your biggest lesson, how you're going to apply it in 2026, and who are you grateful for, and have you told them? Thank you so much for listening. Have a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2026 for season 4 of the podcast. Exciting. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy this conversation, please take a moment to follow or subscribe to the podcast. I'd also love your feedback on this episode. You can scroll down on your app and click write a review. I'd love to read your takeaways from this conversation. As always, don't forget to take courage, trust God, and go pursue your big ideas. See you next time. The Driven Introvert is produced by shepack.com and Remy Roy. Want to ask a question or share a comment on a future episode? Click on the link in the show notes to record your question in a voicemail.